So, Tomb Raider, one of very much anticipated games. I was really looking forward to E3 so that I could see more of it. I mean, take you back a year ago to last year's E3, and they had that really awesome demo, and I was blown away. I was just utterly just like, oh my god, look at it, it's so pretty. And it's been a year and we haven't really heard all that much about Tomb Raider. So coming up to E3, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see where they were going to take Lara, and maybe a little bit more gameplay, see how they'd progress, and hear a bit more about the story and the situation and whatnot. So coming on to E3, I was really looking forward. This was one of the games that I was like, shush now, Tomb Raider's on. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So I am, off the back of E3, I am even more excited for it. This game looks like it is going to be awesome. It really, really does. And I am really quite pleased, to be honest, with the direction that they've taken in it. And I was actually going to record the Assassin's Creed one for today. I know I said I was going to do the Assassin's Creed one for today, but this morning there was an article that was posted on Twitter, and it basically gave me more of an opinion about Tomb Raider. So there was stuff about it that I wanted to get off my chest, and the article was basically badly written, poorly written by a male writer who said that the new Tomb Raider game is going to make you want to protect Lara. She's just very, very vulnerable, and she's this weak-willed little teenage girl, or oh no, she's not teenage, she's like 20, who you're going to want to protect. You're going to be her helper, and you're going to basically protect her from the big bad rapist men who are going to try and rape her every time she turns a corner. Which is just fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I can understand how people would have been angry about that, and fair enough. It was ridiculous. It was a poorly written article. It was terrible. But the reaction to it, there was a certain reaction on the article, on the page to it, that was just polar opposite, written by a woman that went too far in that direction, in my opinion. Who basically said, fuck you game, this is bullshit, I'm not getting this game anymore, what happened to the tough Lara, Lara's a tank, what the hell are they doing, and it was just, I was just like, oh my god, this is just perfect example of ignorance on both sides. It really, truly is. Right, I completely get what Crystal Dynamics are trying to do with Lara. I really do. Right, for me, Lara Croft and Tomb Raider was the games that I grew up with, along with Resident Evil, along with Metal Gear. They were the games that grabbed me at a young age. I was probably about, 11 or something, maybe even younger, on the PS1, and really got me, really cemented me as a gamer. I'd grown up with like Sonic and stuff, but they were the kind of games that really said to me, yeah, this is awesome. This is just, I love doing this. I love playing these games. I love these characters. I love this kind of format, this media. And Lara was, especially for me being a girl, a young girl, she was an icon. She is an icon. And because she was tough, she's kick-ass, she was a brilliant role model for girls, girl gamers especially. Even though she was basically, she was created with men in mind, with her gorgeous looks and her big fake Madonna tits and whatever. But she basically pioneered, in my opinion, she kind of pioneered the female, protagonist in video games. I think before her hadn't really been that kind of female lead, strong character in video games that kind of took the world by storm as Lara did. And I'm sure she was a role model for a lot of girls, not just me. But now, and they built up from this character, this, you know, larger than life kick-ass. She was a tank. Don't get me wrong, she was a tank. She didn't give a shit about anyone. She'd just do a delicate little ballet flips with her dual pistols or a shotgun, take down a T-Rex, you know? She kicked ass. She really, really did. But this is a reboot and this is an origin story. And the fact that Lara is not a tank anymore in it is to me, it's an invalid argument, because she's a young girl. She's like 20 years old. She's been put in this horrific situation. And she's just learning about herself. She's going to find that courage. She's going to find that strength, and she's going to turn. You know, she's going to have, during the course of this game, she's going to have that moment that, you know, you get in all origin stories. I read an article likening it to Casino Royale and Batman. The Batman Begins, the first Christopher Nolan Batman film, you know, where basically these characters that you've grown up with, that you know so well, and that someone comes along and tells this origin story for them that just sets them up perfectly, and they have this moment in it where they become kind of the character that you know and love, that something, this revelation hits them, and it's like, this is what I am. They have that badass moment. And that will happen in this game, it will. But it will be hard fought and it will be a long time coming. They are going to put Lara through the mill, something rotten. They are going to, you know, batter her, beat her, send her flying down waterfalls. You know, it's all going to happen. And one of the things that that bothered me as well, that was written in the argument for that thing, is you know, she's going to go through all this thing. They're going to batter her, they're going to test her, they're going to keep throwing things at her in the way that they do, that they've done in Uncharted. I'm not going to, I'll talk more about the Uncharted kind of influence on it, and I think there is a big influence on it. It would be impossible for them to say that there wouldn't be. But saying, you know, Naughty Dog do that with Nate, but Nate basically gets up, brushes himself off and carries on. Whereas Lara's going to be kind of more like, I'm going to sit by a fire and feel weak and vulnerable after this ridiculously, you know, dramatic, scary thing happens to me. And to me, that's not, oh my god, that's ridiculous. Oh, what the fuck, they've ruined her character. No, that's a vulnerable young girl. That's what a vulnerable young girl would be, who's just been dragged through hell. Nathan Drake is basically where Lara was. He's, you know, he lives for this shit. He's done it forever. He's hardcore. You know, he can get up and brush off falling down a waterfall and carry on with whatever he's gonna do. But to Lara, this is all new, and it's terrifying, and she's gonna have their moments of reflection and go, holy fucking shit, I don't think I can do this. Which any young girl kind of would. So, you know, that argument to me is kind of pointless. In terms of the other kind of thing that was put in the article about she's on an island basically with men that are going to try and rape her, blah, blah, blah. That statement in the article was ridiculous, and it was ignorant and stupid. There was one little clip in the trailer, one little instance probably in the game where a male baddie gets a little bit too, you know, hands-on with Lara. But as you can see in the continuation of that thing, that's in a moment where Lara's really vulnerable, and she's gonna fight back, which is gonna be one of those kind of moments for her where she fights back and she kills someone to protect herself. Do I agree with the use of that sort of thing? No, not necessarily. Rape is something that I have very personal feelings about. And I'd like to think I'm quite well informed on them, but and I don't like when kind of media sensationalize it, like in fucking, oh, don't get me started, there was a Rihanna video not that long ago and I went on a huge rant about it. It pissed me off so much. But, you know, one little instance. They do it in all sorts of films and all sorts of things and stuff, and to put it in a game and all of a sudden it's, oh my god, what the fuck are they doing, blah blah blah. Do you know what? It's not going to be easy to watch. It's going to be horrible to watch. It's going to be really creepy and bleh, but it's going to build Lara's character, and I don't know, it's just, it is what it is. It's not, oh my god, turn a corner, look out for the rapists. It's just stupid. It is not being made into torture rape porn, as that bloody woman who criticised the article said. It's, oh, yeah, this is a Lucie rant. Lucie's angry. She doesn't know what to say because she's so mad. It's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. It's just another example of this young girl's vulnerability, you know, in these situations. And, you know, if it's done well, then I applaud Crystal Dynamics for being brave enough to do that. So, there you go. That's my opinion on that. And I think that, like I've said before, Lara, to me, growing up, was an iconic character. She was a role model. And I think that this Lara will be, you know, there's no doubt about it that she's still an icon, but I think that she will be a role model again for younger girls, because as for me, it was, you know, she's kick-ass, she's strong, tough, don't take no shit. And that was a good kind of foundation for me, a good role model for me. For younger girls nowadays, I think she will be a good role model in that, you know, she's going to get put through all this shit, all this trauma, be in a situation where, you know, she's not sure that she can handle, and within that she's going to find this inner strength to, you know, make her into this stronger person, this more capable person, this, you know, person who's developed a sense of survival instinct, not so viscerally, like, I'm not talking like viscerally, I can survive being hunted by a bear and men that want to kill me and blah blah. I'm not talking about that kind of survival just to keep on going. And, you know, what kind of better role model for that, you know, is vulnerable young girls who, although their circumstances are going to be a lot more mediocre and a lot more realistic than obviously what Lara's going through, to, you know, never give up. You're going to have your weak moments, you know, moments of reflection where you sit back and things happen, really shitty, horrible, horrific things happen, and you basically come away from that learning how to be a stronger person and making you a stronger person. And I hope that is what young girls and people take from the new rebooted Lara, because in my opinion, what better of a role model than that? But then again, there we are. That's just my opinion. Rant concluded. So, Tomb Raider, very much looking forward to it. I am looking forward to getting my hands on the bow and arrow. That looks really quite cool. It's definitely a different departure than the dual wielding pistols. I think, you know, I applaud their kind of bravery in doing that and not just going straight for the iconic pistols with Lara. I'm sure she'll get guns eventually, and I'm sure that we will see a moment throughout the game of her wielding dual pistols. It will happen. It's gotta happen. But I like the bow and arrow. I like the basis on survival, that she's got to, you know, hunt deer for food. It just seems just so much bigger and awesome and stuff. And, you know, I alluded to this before. People who didn't play the older games, people who, you know, are not so familiar with Lara or Tomb Raider, or, you know, don't have the kind of, not so much respect, but admiration for for Lara as I have, because I've grown up there. You know, I played all the games. I own all the games. Played the shit out of them. Are there's gonna be comparisons with Uncharted. There's gonna be, because, you know, like it or not, as awesome as Lara is, as iconic as she is, as popular as she is, as much as she, you know, took the world by storm, when it moved over to the next gen consoles, maybe even to the PS2 games weren't really that great. They were good games and they were a lot of fun, but they did feel something lacking, and I think it's because they tried to reboot the series, sort of, but they didn't reboot it completely. They kind of rewrote the story in this little story arc that spanned over the 4 games, and I think that kind of pissed off a lot of, you know, it pissed off me. I was kind of like, I just took it as it was though, but it was like, you're basically, if you're going to rewrite a character's history, you need to do like what they're doing now. You need to reboot the whole thing and not just try and use the same character and then change the backstory around completely to fit the story that you want to tell. So to me, like, those games did seem kind of lacking. And then coming on to the next gen consoles, the only game that we had was Underworld, and that was tied in to that little series. So, you know, Lara has been sorely missed from the next gen consoles, and that enabled, you know, Nathan Drake and Naughty Dog to sneak on in there. And don't get me wrong, what they did with those games, I adore those games, I really, really do, was impressive. It was impressive. It was groundbreaking. They took the whole Tomb Raider thing and they made it relevant and brought a realistic and likable character in Nathan Drake. So for me, this game isn't so much as trying to compete with Uncharted. I think that there is definitely room for both of them in the market. I mean, the amount of bloody different shooters and war games and stuff there is definitely room for Lara and Nathan Drake. I don't see it as a competition. I think the Crystal Dynamics, obviously they're going to have taken some influence from the Uncharted games. There's no doubt about that. They're going to have, because those games were so successful. They're going to have looked at them closely, seen what they did right, and try and build on that and make Lara relevant. And sorry, I've been talking too much. I've still got a bit of a bad throat. And produce something, you know, equally amazing, maybe even better, to take this character, this woman, this female that started it all off, and, you know, drag her into the next gen sort of era and produce a brilliant game. And I'm glad that it has taken this long for them to do it. I would rather they've taken this long and produced something of this quality and done this well than popped out, you know, another substandard Tomb Raider game for the sake of it. I think Lara needed this. She needs this new kind of reboot and this new I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. She needs this kind of opportunity to show the newer kind of market of gamer base that maybe aren't as aware of, you know, the older Tomb Raider games and stuff, how, you know, kick-ass she is and why she's such the iconic character that she is. So, you know, that was a bit of a Lucie rant there, but all in all, you know, I hope you get this. Just, you know, I am super excited for Tomb Raider. I have already pre-ordered Tomb Raider. I was gutted that it was pushed back till like the first quarter of next year. But as I said before, I'd rather they take their time and do it well and produce a game that's just going to knock people's socks off than release it and it not quite be ready or not quite be up to standards, because, you know, there are going to be a lot of critical eyes on this game. You know, there is no greater critics than gamers, especially I go back to something I said in the Resident Evil video, and I'll probably say again in the Metal Gear video, and when I'm talking about Devil May Cry as well. There is nothing more opinionated than gamers, and there's nothing that a certain breed of gamer dislikes more than change. It turns them into this rabid animal who's like, no, it's not right, how dare you do this, rah, 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 rah. And it's just ridiculous. Just take it what it is. And I would hope that that people will, take this game for what it is and not be influenced by like two very extreme polarized opinions as was in that article, because that's a shame. And I hope that people will give it the chance that it deserves, give it the respect that it deserves, and sit down and actually play it, because it is going to be a fucking awesome game. I trust Crystal Dynamics. I trust what they've done with Lara, and I can't wait to see the whole story. So there we go, another bloody 20-minute-ish rant from me. That was slightly more ranty than the Resident Evil one. I am sorry. I might actually put the link to that article in the description box so people know kind of what I'm talking about. And I promised I would do Assassin's Creed. I will do Assassin's Creed. I will get it done. It will probably get done tomorrow. There was just, I had this stuff to say about Tomb Raider and I needed to get it off my chest today. So this has come first. But yes, I will do Assassin's Creed tomorrow. I promise. And you will hear my wonderful opinion about AC3. Oh, I bet you're just so excited. Right. Okay. So I will see you in the next video. Comment, hit the like button, subscribe to me, come and see me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And see you in the next video.